couple of things that we want to react to. So, Jake Paul was at some, I guess, Trump speech, and he had some words. So let's hear what he had to say.
Anyway, and he walked out with a broken jaw. Anyway, this was not the greatest fight, but you know what? It showed lots of courage. Come here, Jake. Say,
Yeah, what Mr. Trump has taught me is courage. You know, we never back down from a fight, even if they're much bigger than you, much, much bigger than you. And I feel all the local Kentuckians feel the same way. You guys have that fight. You guys have that swag. There's a lot of young kids in here. The future of America. I grew up just a few hours away from here, and my dad taught me to fight. And all of our voices matter in America. And I'm never afraid to speak the truth. And I know you guys aren't. We are here representing the United States, and it's just a blessing. Thank you, Mr. Trump. We need more factories like this thriving all over the country, and I know he's going to be the one to bring that here to us. I know God is with us. I know he wants us on the right side of history, and everyone here has to do their part, and God's got us. Trump's got us. God bless. Love you, Kentucky.
now he's a great guy. He's a courageous guy and a talented guy. He's a hell of a fighter, too, by the way. And I just want to say, I'm going to make a prediction that you will be, in the not too distant future, running for political office. Okay? And you have my complete and total endorsement, okay? Yeah, that's what we want. He's an incredible guy. A lot of courage, smarts.
Jake Paul for president,
Oh God, I hope not.
2028.
So someone spotted it right away, saying his pits. So that's definitely a viral marketing stunt. He runs a deodorant slash antiperspirant brand. And so he did this for free marketing, because when he goes out there and he has these massive pitters, then everyone's going to be roasting him. And then it's a spillover way of getting free marketing for your brand, because the joke will be artificial, but it will be, homeboy owns a freaking deodorant brand and he can't deal with his own pitters. That was 100% on purpose. Also, anybody who's ever had a suit jacket, I sweat a lot as a guy. I've never sweat through a suit jacket. Like that would take a lot of effort.
That's true. That's true. That's pretty intense. Very interesting, man. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, no doubt. That's how they all operate, bro. It's the same with Logan when he tried to fight all the NFL players, and then someone said that they would, and then on stream, his boss from the WWE, sorry, I can't speak, called and was like, "You can't do this."
Right.
It's like, okay, if this, yeah, you just happened to be on stream when that happened, like that's not coordinated, and he's wearing a big Prime sweater too. Well, for the moment, like
Yeah, that's
anything,
crazy.
anything that they do, assume it's for some sort of marketing initiative all the time. Like everything that comes out of their mouth, everything is marketing. And so that's why I think that the more savvy the consumer gets, I just think they're going to get more and more desensitized to that. Maybe I have too much faith in humanity, but yeah.
It reminds me of the inauguration with Theo Von. I don't even remember if it was one of those two that were involved or not. Maybe it was the Nuck Boys. No, it was Logan Paul. Where like at the inauguration in January last year, they like pulled the chair back from him or whatever from Theo Von, and he like fell out in the middle of the inauguration and stuff. And I'm like, yo, these guys are crazy.
Yeah, they yeah, Jake, they're obviously very talented at what they do, but the shock marketing thing is their whole shtick. So they do it all the time. Look at everything they've ever done. It's always shock and awe.
Fascinating. Taylor Kinney, who is a popular analyst in the gold space as well as just general macroeconomics. She put out a video on X yesterday. Now, this one is a little bit sensationalist feeling, but I think that there might be some reality to it. Plus, there's a really good meme that comes off of it. So let's react to this clip real quick.
There's a cyber attack happening right now coming from a hacker group based out of Iran that is wiping people's personal cell phones. And I know because it just happened to my husband. He woke up this morning to his phone factory reset, no phone number attached, everything wiped. But the implications of this are so much bigger, especially when you start to think about your bank. Before I explain the bank risk, this is the group that claimed credit this morning, taking down a major medical device corporation and all of its tens of thousands of employees' personal devices, wiping everything and getting all of their information. Obviously, we're still freaking out because his phone's cooked. They have access to all of our information and God knows what else. But on top of that, it immediately made me think, What happens when they target US banks next? All of the bank accounts go to zero, or you're frozen out, or they go after digital payments and everything shuts down, or they could go after the electrical grid. We know how devastating that would be. And the infrastructure here in the United States is so old, it would be easy to do. We're living through a new type of warfare, and most people here have no idea and are not even close to being. There's really nothing we could have done to have stopped what just happened this morning, but I think this is just the start. Not only are personal devices at risk, but institutions and infrastructure. My advice to everyone is to make sure you have cash, silver, and gold, because if all of your wealth is tied up in the system that's vulnerable to their attacks, you're leaving yourself, your family, and future generations vulnerable too. We don't know what's coming next, but all we can do is be prepared. Stay safe out there, everyone.
So, you know, obviously can't verify the veracity of what's happened here, and she is a media personality, so it makes sense to, you know, tell these types of stories, right? But I honestly wanted to share this because I thought the meme that came off of it was absolutely hilarious, and I'd love to have Taylor on the show at some point too. So Big AI said, "My bank account is already at zero. What precautions should I take?" So I thought that was pretty good. I think there was one other one, and this guy said, "Target my mortgage, please."
But there's going to be more and more of these stories, even if they're not true. Because how else do you make people do what you want and sign up for a new system? You have to say there's no other option. Right? So like these will become so common. They do this all the time. Like you don't need to go that far back in history where they make you hate certain people to justify certain things. Like this is just the same playbook on repeat all the time. And now they just have so much more of an efficient mechanism of spreading that because it's scattered across so many sub pockets of internets with no counter forces. Right? Because you're not watching the TV in the room with other people where maybe there's one sound-minded individual who'll be like, nah, that's bullshit. Everyone's in their own little echo chamber from someone they've built a deep relationship with. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty more of that, even if they're not true.
I think that's a solid framework of looking at the situation. Now, we had another clip that we wanted to get some reaction to. You see something in the comments?
No. I was
Okay.
just reading a tweet and yeah.
Okay.
Didn't look good.
This guy talking about Congress. Let's hear what he has to say real quick and we'll react.
Is to call out the poor leadership of the boomer generation over the past 30 years. We are unhappy with the results. You took the national debt from $4 trillion in the early 90s to nearly $40 trillion today. Your children and grandchildren spend 20% of their tax dollars on the interest on that debt alone. The housing is unaffordable, rent is unaffordable, daycare is unaffordable, college is unaffordable, healthcare is unaffordable, gas is unaffordable, utilities is unaffordable under your watch. You were also responsible for the greatest wealth inequality gap in modern history. The top 10% has $120 trillion. The bottom 50% has 4. That all happened under your watch. If you did grow up in the 60s and 70s with no air conditioning, walk 5 miles to school up a snowy hill with broken glass barefoot, and worked your ass off, and we now have 4-day work weeks, $200,000 houses, $600 rent, nearly free college, nearly free healthcare, nearly free daycare, we would be thanking you for your service. We would say, how could we have lived in this world without your selfless acts? Please don't retire. Please help us. Please teach us. Please mentor us. You did a terrible job. And I'm sorry, not all boomers, but this is your track record. And we're not saying that they're too old, where it's ageist. Oh, they're too old. They did this when they were in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. The silent generation and boomer generation does. And we're calling it out. It's called accountability. It is not ageist to call out the poor leadership of the boomer generation.
Thoughts?
I mean, I guess he did a good job of saying it out loud, you know? Because, yeah, there's a ton of, look at Senator McConnell, right? Who's clearly like actually like he's not there. He's being walked to and from the chambers. and it's like, okay, like he's the one who's making decisions and clearly someone is, gotta be in his pocket telling them to keep doing this.
Yes.
But it's just like brothers and sisters, like give it up. Let the people actually have a chance to govern themselves. So
yeah. That last point you made was gonna be my basically entire point, is that I think he's right on most of what he said, but it's very easy to point fingers when we weren't in their exact situation. Like who's to say that our generation wouldn't have done the exact same thing given the same opportunity, right? I don't think finger pointing or name calling is constructive in any way, shape, or form. And it's the problem is, right? So if you guys say, or we're all saying, baby boomers are the problem. If we say they're the problem, what do people do when you call them out? they get the shield out,
Yeah. Defensive
right?
sphere.
And so it's like, I think it's more important to come from a place of, and I guess we've probably tried other options and it didn't work. So I'm sure it's what we're resorting to now. But I do think it's just very symptomatic of a very broken system. And if it's not changed quickly, things will keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier.
No doubt, man. But yeah, like that's the whole thing is, I guess in a way, maybe it would make sense to kind of have an age limit because think about it.
Totally, dude.
Are you representing the population anymore?
No, great point.
Technically not.
And Joe Rogan actually said this the other day. He's like, it's super dangerous having someone as old as Trump in president or anyone that old because they're only thinking 5-10 years down the road, they're going to die. Right? So,
That's
like,
a fact, though.
you think he's thinking about me?
Right.
No, he doesn't give a shit about Ben. He's like, he's worried about his legacy, right? So I think age limits, because there's natural cognitive decline when you reach certain ages. Like, why do they why does my grandpa have to go do a test every so often because he's past a certain age for his license? So it's not safe for him to drive a car, but it's safe for him to run a country?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So huge thoughts to be taken into consideration there. And it's so fascinating because there's so many issues with the systems that we have in place today. But man, to be fair, there's a lot of thought that was put in how to make things at least have a chance. You know what I'm saying? Of functioning in any way.
For a different world, though. I think our technology that we have access to is so paradigm shifting that most things are just so inept to handle the current stressors.
Right.
Like they're just so far removed. And the problem is that people making the decisions don't even understand how the shit functions. Like when I hear these politicians talk about blockchain, crypto, AI, whatever, they have no clue. They don't know anything. And of course, there's exceptions to this, but I'd say probably 80% of them don't know anything because realistically, Keith, what is their incentive to know this shit? They're good.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'm sorted. I'm not worried about this. I don't give a shit. And so why would they know?
And it's so interesting because people get so mad at Ripple. But if you really think about it, the only thing, unfortunately, the real thing that gets Congress to move and to pay attention and to try to understand things is going to be that big checkbook. And Ripple, what they did was they put a coalition of people together to do that, right? The like Crypto for America, whatever. They got like Coinbase together, them together, and like all the people who actually have the money in the space, spending it on lobbying and trying to get people to pay attention to this technology. So in some ways, you've got obviously, when you're doing that, you're pushing things toward your direction, right? To be helpful for you.
Yeah, that's a bit of...
But otherwise, they probably wouldn't even be looking still. They'd be like, whatever, who cares?
Crazy that's like that. I do think we also have the other end issue too, which you talked about, because we're all aware of this. We don't have quality candidates running.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's another massive issue is who do we replace them with? I'm not going.
Nope. If you're enjoying this was actually taken out of a piece of our live stream where we go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. If you want to see the full version of this episode, you can click the link in the description down below. But for now, back to the clip.
Right? Unless the whole system changes, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And that was the thing that David Goxgene, I got to talk to him. When I talked to him, I started to realize, I was like, okay, one thing that does make it get to a point to where you almost have to enter the scene is if things get so bad that you can't run your business. To where you can't, you know what I'm saying, do anything without trying to change the system from the inside or whatever. But then at that point, how effective are you actually going to be? I don't know. But
very good point. Is it too far gone at that point? I'm really hopeful it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping that political leaders can kind of see the writing on the wall. I also do kind of think that they're aware that they're losing grasp of things because most of these moves across all of these countries just reek of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, why would you be, like in my home country, there's like thing after thing, day after day where I'm like, okay, someone's desperate here because like they're doing stuff that is just crazy.
100%, man. One more thing I wanted to get some reactions to here. This is John K. He said, this is what it was like in the 90s. Give up forever. I don't know if I can play the song though.
True. Yeah, I would probably get hit with a copyright. But this is a funny joke. Have you seen The Office?
So I have, but
Okay,
I don't actually get this at all.
Bro, this is hilarious. Okay, so There's this one bit in The Office where John Krasinski, which his name is Jim in the show, he always trolls Dwight. Okay. And so one of the trolls was he pretended he's been this Asian guy the whole time.
Okay.
So he shows up to work and he's like, hey, what's up, Dwight? And Dwight's like, you're not Jim, whatever. And then they had the full bit going where Pam was in on it. They even had changed the family photos to have him in it rather than Jim. So it's like a very ongoing bit, kind of like if you know, you know kind of thing.
Okay. Gotcha. And so, and you were saying that was done by, like, this one right here was done by AI.
Totally. Yeah. All the images of that guy, I'm fairly confident were AI.
Very interesting, man.
So, yeah, did you do anything else?
No, I was going to move into the memes.
Sure. I'll help with the channel. This guy's Doggy-Fi. I'm having trouble finding your channel at Doggy-Fi. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Doggy Finance. Okay. Do you mind if I help them quick?
Let's do it.
Cool. So I'm going to give you some tough love here. If you want to grow your channel, you'll take it. So volatility is a gift to the faithful. Okay. So if you give me that title, what from this visual gives me context to that this is about crypto? I have no clue what this is about. I would honestly think this is probably like a Call of Duty clip. And then if you throw that context on top of it, this doesn't mean anything to anyone, right? Just in time BTC, that's far too broad. Like, just in time for what, right? Does the visual add on to the title? The problem with a lot of this stuff is in a vacuum, the things aren't inherently bad. It's usually the combination of all these variables that makes it bad or not working, right? Like, this is all subjective. It depends what your outcomes are that you're looking for. Like, just in time BTC, I still don't understand why I should want this. And I said this in a voice note to our team the other day where I was like, so many people all across the internet are adding in small little layers of needed prior context to care, which is basically like saying this video isn't for you, for anybody who doesn't have that prior context. And then they're wondering why people don't click it. How many people could possibly see this and be like, yeah, I want this? The number is very, 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 very low. And so then on top of that, when there is infinite content from people that do know this stuff, you're just going to get suppressed down. So the strategy of titling and thumbnail and the concept of it is going to be that much more important. So from seeing these, what the Wellmar is happening, again, I don't even know what that is. Modern Investment Strategy 2026, modern financial vehicles that you need to take advantage of. So that's probably the best title that you have. But when you couple it with what looks again like a Call of Duty still shot, you're speaking to someone who cares about their finances, but then acting like they're about to see a gaming clip. So it just needs to refine the strategy a lot more and go study what other people are doing and reverse engineer what works for them. Sorry, Keith, we'll get back to that.
No, I love it. I've been seeing, there's this one channel that I saw yesterday. It was kind of like a similar vibe to this, where what they were doing was like taking like powerful clips of people who were talking about things that were happening in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and I guess this is like a trend that the kids are doing where it's like, footage of a game in the background, right? So it's like you're watching that, but it's like a powerful story about someone's like prospering through something.
That can happen if there's a strong enough click trigger for the subject matter of conversation and it's obvious about that. Whereas this is like, I think it's just trying to be too many things where it's not really calling out to anyone.
Right. And then so I'm trying to, because this is also like a meme thing, a trend thing that I'm trying to get a better grip on. I think it's called like core or something like that. Like something, oh man, I can't find the channel. It was a really big channel. It was like 100,000+ subscribers, and they were like showing these clips of people who.
Oh, did I send that to you? My phone's dead.
I think it pulled up on my recommended, but it was from one of our channels that it was recommended on.
Got it.
So I'm struggling to find it right now, but yeah, it was like super interesting concept that clearly was something that people were doing, I guess, at scale and like copying. So I'm curious where they got that idea from too, because it's
totally
that people are doing.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a lot more content on helping you guys grow or spread a message on social media, because then it also allows you to be a more literate consumer where you understand what people are doing against you to try to hijack your attention. But realistically, like the biggest thing that I could always stress is the fundamental is it's a game of empathy. You can weaponize empathy for good or for bad, but understanding what people know, what they want, and the transformations they're looking to acquire that either push them towards pleasure or away from pain, and then understanding the different ways in which that exists from the human experience. That's like the whole game of marketing. You're just reverse engineering the outcome that you want from the people who can give that to you.
Okay, so I found the channel real quick. It's called Lost Reality. 174,000. And it's his core style videos. I don't know exactly what that means. But anyways, just to kind of give you an example, it's like Shia LaBeouf doing an interview. I guess it's not the clips in the background per se, but it's just like this like motivational content kind of thing. So anyways, just wanted to share that that's something that people are doing.
No, totally. And so he's leveraging. Okay, so this is actually kind of smart what they're doing. So I'll share my screen and explain like the psychology of why what they're doing is working. So you always got to understand that like when you're seeing stuff pop up randomly on your screen, it's because people's interests are shifting towards that. So you'll notice that Keith's thumbs are very simplistic, right? Because that creates the assumption that this is going to not be hyper edited or AI content. Right. So for about a year, people have been looking for these kinds of things. That's why channels like Keith have been blowing up. That's why channels like Clive has been blowing up. More like this authentic, real desire for connection. So what this person is doing is he's kind of using that against people by making it seem like it's celebrities giving that kind of content. Right. So in the packaging, people know who this guy is. This guy's a very famous streamer. And also he knows enough about the people who care about this to make the packaging around an inside joke that they would understand or a context piece that they would care, like a click trigger. So she made me feel loved. I don't even know this guy, but every clip I've ever seen of him, it's involving a girl. Right. So clearly that would speak to people who know who this guy is because they watch his streams. It's usually about his girlfriend and crap like that. This guy is another one who his biggest thing, you can't see my cursor, can you? Dang it. I was talking about the second from the left. And then the guy 3 from the left, his name's Moist Critical, I think he goes by. He's got a very deep connection with his audience. He's one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. And so people love this guy. So it was the loneliest time of my life with a thumbnail like that. Makes it seem like it's from his channel and he's about to really open up. And people would love that because they love him. So like, I feel, again, he did that with PewDiePie down below. He's leveraging the borrowed attention of the famous people with the timeliness of the desire for people that want human connection that is not hyper optimized or over edited. Does that make sense?
Fantastic.
So that's usually what it is. It's like the combination of multiple things working in your favor to get the outcome that you want.
Fire. So, well, thanks for doing that. And thanks for throwing the suggestions up or asking for the feedback. That was good stuff there.
Yeah, always happy to help you guys. If you guys are working on a project, like because I've done this on like every platform, there's no problem that you can't send to me that I can't give you a decent response on. Like, well, can I guarantee that it will work? No, but I can definitely point you in the right direction.
Love it. Moving on to the memes for the day. We had the Kobasi letter saying that Trump is preparing to invoke Cold War era powers to renew oil production off the Southern California coast. And I just saw a response to this that I thought was kind of funny. This guy said that trading has changed forever. It used to be looking at the charts, trying to actually understand what's going on
Now it's
and
looking at
the
tweets.
prices. And now it's just go to Truth Social and wait around for what DJT has to say. If you're enjoying this was actually taken out of a piece of our live stream where we go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. If you want to see the full version of this episode, you can click the link in the description down below. But for now, back to the clip. So, pretty real. And then this guy said, DJ Cows said, they're benchmarking us now. Imagine you go to ChatGPT and you said, why did you make the number a string? Fix this, please. And it goes, you're absolutely right. I was testing your intelligence. Here's the new version. So thought that was an interesting one.
Those ones are always hilarious.
And then this guy, Guardi says, why don't they just tokenize the oil in the Middle East and transport it across permissionless financial rails, therefore avoiding the Strait of Hormuz altogether?
I wish I thought of that. And then banger is the comment.
Yeah. And he's legit too. That's like an ETF guy. Yeah, the ETF guy at Bloomberg. So it's funny.
That's so good.
And this is funny on a couple levels too, because I mean, I remember there being a time where people are like trying to tokenize everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, brother, like tokenization does not solve your illiquidity problem. Tokenization does not solve the fact that no one wants what you're selling, is what I'm trying to say.
Totally.
Oh, which I thought was just too funny. People want to tokenize their cat's litter. And I'm like, brother,
It's a buzzword, right?
no one wants that.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier to attach to a buzzword than it is to explain through a story, right? So like that makes sense to me. And then people also ride that for support financially too.
100%. This guy said that this is what's going on at the White House at the moment. So I thought this was pretty good.
Oh, sorry I'm late. We just got out of a very important meeting with President Trump trying to find a new gold plating supplier. So, oh, sure. Yeah, no, don't mention it. I'm just, ready to get into it. We got a lot to talk about. I thought we'd start with our munitions report. Boom, boom. Everybody loves fireworks. Am I right? Oh, yeah, for sure. But no, it's just that, there might be a concern. So, a lot of the weapons we use, the Patriots, these long range interceptor missiles and things like that. Yeah, super cool, right? Secretary Hegseth's always talking about how fucking sweet they are. Super cool. It's very cool. And so, like a lot of cool things, they're very expensive and complicated, right? So, meanwhile, the Iranians, they got like $30,000 drones, So, when we shoot down a $30,000 drone with a $5 million missile, you can see how the math there doesn't really work out for us long term. Okay, so number one, you really should have been told this ahead of time, but we got a rule around here: no math. Okay, that's the first thing. Number two, just make more. Just make more. They're like I said, they're highly complex. There's a lot of different things that go into the process. Okay. You know the show Game of Thrones, right? We love that show, especially the last couple seasons. We're great, right? You know the scene near the end where that freaky sex pirate tells all those dirty island peasants, he says, "You build me 1,000 ships and I'll win this war," right? You remember that? Yeah, I do. I'm glad you brought that up, actually. That's a good analogy. So when you're watching that scene and you're like, 1,000 ships, they don't even have trees on these islands. How are they going to build 1,000 ships? It doesn't make sense, right? That's what I'm saying. Right, but then they do it because their leader told them to. Yeah, no, yeah, but that's a TV show, right? So I'm just saying, just do whatever they did.
So that pretty much encapsulates the vibe of.
Does feel like feels like we're living in that, man. But the chat's so funny, man. I gotta give a shout out to some funny jokes. Matthew said, "Tokenizing my bathwater. Be right back." And then Billenberg says, "If we tokenize oil, we can send it through computer screens using XRPL. Genius." And then, if you tokenize cat litter, does that officially make it a shitcoin?
Oh,
that's good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well done. Well done, guys.
Oh, fire.
Any other memes, or is that?
A couple more. Trump said that when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. And this guy, John Trades NBA, said, we? Because, yeah, it's definitely not a we situation. Oil companies will certainly make some money off of that, but not so much. What's going on over there? You all right?
Sorry. Man, these fire alarm people, they test this shit like every other week, bro. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Well, I hope it's a test.
They usually say, this is a test, but I couldn't hear it, so I'm assuming it's a test. I'll go out.
I don't know if that's how it works.
I think we're good.
So this one said, what happened to house parties? And this guy said, nobody has a house. Like,
that's very fair.
That's a very real one. Let's see here real quick. X users responding to the most obvious bait. So, we got a lot of people on the internet right now that aren't aware of the incentives of these systems and how they all work, and that a lot of people are also just straight up bots. And I thought that was a pretty perfect demonstration of what that can look like. You got people going crazy on the bots.
Don't get mad at stuff you see online. People make money from making you angry. So remember that.
Hundo P.
If one thing too relates to this and Logan Paul stuff, like if you come across something that you genuinely don't like remove your attention from it, like actually on the platform. So like either block the page or report it as spam. I've been doing that a lot. lately. I'm reporting
Nice.
a ton of pages as spam because right now with the current structure of the test goes again. The current structure of things, we're basically incentivizing horrible behavior.
100%, man. This one goes and says, your salary is just your company's monthly subscription of you. And I thought that was just an interesting thought. I mean, it kind of
That's
is.
kind of true, dude.
And then this next one is absolutely diabolical. So this is, I believe, Australian's ambassador to the United States. The rate of AI innovation is nothing like Mark Andreessen thought he'd see in his lifetime. Australia is making major investments in compute, renewable energy, and a smart regulatory framework to support the next wave. Great discussion with you, Mark. And now, if you follow the lore in the Mark Andreessen space, you know that there's kind of this obsession with the man's head, right?
Yes, it's crazy.
And people have been kind of pointing out the fact that, like, the editor of whoever took this picture here decided to edit this in a way
over. Yeah, that's crazy.
his head goes out.
That had to be deliberate.
I'm like, yo, that's a crazy thing to do. So this guy said diabolical work from the Australian government's graphics team.
That's wild. Man, it's so
like,
much knowledge.
Yeah, man, clearly.
He's a smart dude, though. He really is.
No doubt. This one, pretty random, but Buffalo Wild Wings introduced the espresso protein infused with buffalo dry rub and
That can't be
jam-packed
real.
with 10 grams of protein. You're welcome for the macros. Launching in some select locations, and KFC actually responded, asking for Dude Wipes to go ahead and just handle that one.
That's gnarly.
Because Dude Wipes, basically, they go around and they'll like respond to stuff like, you know,
I got you.
it's going to lead to a situation where you might need some Dude
You
Wipes.
might need our product, man.
Anyways, I think those are all the things I had for today. Hey, you made it to the end of the clip. That means you're probably enjoying this. And if so, just know that you can catch us live every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to see the full version of this episode, you can click the link in the description down below. Otherwise, YouTube thinks that you will enjoy this next.